Yes, indeed. Let me get over to the right.
I was going to say, hey, I'm over there.
I know. I like to be her because, like, I'm looking at you from the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening, Alex. How are you?
Doing all right. Doing well.
And good evening, Ty. How are you? Our producer in the background.
I'm doing pretty good. Just recovering from a cold.
You sound like you're a little bit sick, but thank you for joining us. And we thank you all for joining us out there in YouTube Landia and Facebook Landia. I don't see anybody doing any type of chats right here right now. So good evening to everybody. We are live on the JConcepts Facebook page, YouTube page, and the No Name RC podcast page. If you guys could share this out, we greatly would appreciate it. We do have a poll going on in the No Name RC podcast page, YouTube page, because I can't do it to JConcepts as well. But it's, if you go over there, you can see where it says, what type of surface do you prefer for 10 scale? And it has 4 different options. And we're going to take that poll and see what you all prefer at the end of the day. And while you're over at the No Name RC podcast page, hit that sub, like, and notification button. We greatly appreciate it. All right. So we are back for our second live show for the JConcepts INS series, brought to you by A Main Hobbies, Hobby Wing, JConcepts, Schumacher, Exalt, Team Associated, Reedy, and of course, our friends, the Elite RC Productions crew, doing all the work. Good evening, RCX. Good evening, JWRC. Good evening to you guys. Elite RC Productions, doing all the production. Joining me is Alex Sturgeon, who was on her last week. We had Aiden Horn on last week. It was very entertaining with Aiden. I just dropped the reel today that was pretty funny, and there were just a lot of funny reels from Aiden, so there will be more coming out. And our guest this week is he's actually the 4-wheel drive winner this year, Broc Champlin, and him and Aiden will go battle it out to be the 2-wheel drive INS champion at Hoosier in a few weeks' time. It's not too long from now.
Yeah, it's not that far off.
Not at all. Good evening, Jeff Storm. Good evening, Anthony Santi. Good evening, everybody. Hello, Paul. How are you? Thank you for joining in. Alex, how are you? What have you been up to?
Good. Just this last week, been working on some Q4 inventory at the Plex and trying to get some stuff sort of locked in for that Christmas season, and been working on the track. So the dirt oval is officially back in at our place because we're having a dirt oval race in 2 weeks to start the season. So that was fun. It was hot, and yeah, just unfortunately had to get rid of that drop down right before the loop from the INS layout. That had to go because all that dirt was sitting in turn 2 of the oval. So
okay, so the oval is on the very right hand side now, right?
Yep.
And you still have the off-road track though, but just okay. Just
yeah, basically
smaller.
the layout didn't change very much right now because we still have a couple weeks left of our 10 scale program, and then when we get ready for Techno, which is November 7th, November 8th, whatever Saturday that is, I'll have a more 8 scale appropriate layout for those guys.
Okay. Busy man. You always stay busy.
Yeah.
I was just before I was coming on her, I was geeking out. I saw this happen. Did you see that new, completely nothing to do with 10 scale, completely nothing to do with racing, the new 1/6 scale Red Cat crawler that they just dropped?
I actually did see that. I saw that in the in our ordering system. Yeah, and I was like, oh man, look at that.
It's nice.
Yeah.
You know, I was geeking out on that.
We actually ordered one of their old ones a while ago. This was a while ago, but it was for some guy who was trying to make a robot, and he wanted it to be big, and he saw this big Red Cat crawler, their previous version or whatever it was, and that was the last one of those we ever ordered. That was a number of years ago, but I don't know. Yeah, it looked pretty cool.
It looks pretty capable. You know what? I want you to stand up. I want our audience to see this awesome shirt that you're wearing, because I think it's great. And those who are of our age will know what this is all about. What an awesome shirt.
That's Bart Taylor versus Crew Jones right there.
That's right. Rad. The most epic ever BMX movie ever.
Period. I have some shirts that I can't wear to the track because I don't want to mess them up. This is one of them.
Gotcha.
Like, I don't want to get like tire sauce on it or get it all messed up or anything. So
I wouldn't either. And so if you don't know, they actually printed their shirts and sold them in the movie. Not that actual shirt, but you know.
Yeah, it was a major plot point because otherwise they couldn't participate in the race.
Yeah, the hell track. Oh man,
Yeah.
everybody wanted a hell track. Oh, hold on, my 1 second, real quick. My puppy just entered and he opened up the door. Tony Kaser, the Vertex. It's on my list. 100% comp, 6 scale. Absolutely. Take off for a second, real quick.
Yeah, I was contemplating ordering that for the store. I still might. We've done okay with the axial big stuff, although this is a little different. So, but yeah, we'll see.
I apologize. My little puppy just barged in the door and he doesn't know how to close it yet.
My cat does that. If I leave a sliver of the door open on accident, she'll nudge it and get in there where my wife doesn't like her to be. So
Coney says we need a 7th-inch tusk. Is that a tire?
Yeah, that's a JConcepts tire.
Okay, that's actually an interesting name.
Yeah.
So we do have Broc Champlin in her. Also, we're going to bring him in a few minutes, but you told me some interesting news that you and Will are going to start your podcast up.
Yeah, we'll be back on Monday. Monday is my only day off. Like you said, I'm a busy guy. I'm a busy guy. Monday is my only real day off. And so we've always scheduled our podcast on Mondays. And in the summertime, especially when there's enough light out, like I'm out doing my other hobbies. So I like to fish. I got a little boat. I like to fly airplanes. I like to mountain bike, that sort of thing. So my Mondays in the summertime, we've almost done like a summer break, it seems like. So I don't think we've had a podcast since June. And we're going to be on again. I want to get him on to talk about the oval race we're having. And then of course go over some stuff that we've had at Plex, like the INS race and Friday nights, just fun stuff that we like to do. When we get on, we don't talk about a lot of national stuff. I kind of leave that to you. Like I've said that before on our thing. I'm like, we'll let Keenan worry about all the sponsorship deals and silly season. And, we worry more about, kind of the local scene or what we think about certain things. If something does come up, we definitely talk about it, but it's fun. It's just fun for us to be on.
You have a very healthy local scene. So I get that. Does Will still race?
Oh yeah. He races oval right now. Oh, he's big into dirt oval. So he bailed from that. He made the AMA at the Chili Bowl this year in mod sprint, which is a big deal. And he just won the King of Dirt. It's a big race at Fastlane that's drawn in some big names in the past, and there's a lot of big names there. And he won that. And then he did good enough in the oval to get the King thing. It's kind of like how they did the Masters of Dirt. Okay. Combine the classes for points or whatever. So I was really proud of him there because he struggled last year at that same race. His first Chili Bowl attempt, he was in the B, which is still pretty good. And then this year he got the bump. And I think his third try, I bet you he just drives straight in. I have no doubt.
I have only driven around an oval track once in my life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got a Losi sprint car that I'm actually pretty excited for. So my YouTube channel, right? HobbyPlex show. Mm-hmm. One of the better videos in the last maybe 6 months was a video. 6 months? When did that come out? March. Anyways, we got in the Losi 22S sprint and I did a video. Can this compete with, a regular custom work sprint car? And I ended up winning the 13.5 class that day. So
really,
yeah.
They Dirt Oval is also my buddy Sean Rusin and Tyler and Chase from Wheel and Trigger. They've got these cars, and they'll be racing now at the Dirt. So the Dirt has a nice oval. Yeah, they're in Paris.
Yeah, I saw the advertisements for their club race.
Yeah, and Sean is like going nuts into this now. Not as nuts as that, but I think that's a great vehicle to get started with. If Traxxas was smart, which they are, they would make one very similar size and KV, and then we could have a spec class. That would be great.
Yeah, right? My struggle bus with oval is all the different classes.
Really?
Yeah, there's so many different classes, and not every track runs the same stuff, and so you end up with guys that, like, we get messages all the time. Hey, how come you don't run this? How come you don't run this? And we're like, well, our local scene doesn't do that, but this track, 3 hours away does. And so there's always that friction there. I think guys want to race, but they want to race the class that they like to race, and not all the places do the same thing. They try to under like dirtoval.com rules and stuff, but even then it seems still not as organized, I guess.
Well, I know they really desperately want to get involved with Raw and have a proper Raw Nationals, but Raw has to get some people involved that are in that industry
So
involved and doing it. And it
I
sounds
was-
like it's a lot of work.
I was on the committee a long time ago when Don Sanchez was president, when Roar finally dropped Oval altogether.
Really? So they used to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You remember Dawn Sanchez? I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
her too,
Oh,
on
yeah.
the starting grid back in the day.
I've been around a long time.
You have.
I've been region
Yeah.
director, comp director on the XCOM. I've been parts of Roar here and there.
We have questions for you already. Should we ask? Because it's actually a very good question.
Sure.
Darnell asks, we're going to bring in Broc, but this is actually a good question, and I want to ask it before we get cracking. He goes, curious to know how Alex has been able to build and maintain a scene there, especially when a number of tracks closing down. Is it location, community? Is it something he does specifically?
Okay. Part of it's Omaha has always been a really big RC town. I don't know. I mean, ever since I was a kid. So I'm 46. I've been doing this since 88, I think. And Omaha's always had a track somewhere. So, and whether it be oval or I started with outdoor dirt at a hobby town, actually, in the 90s, early 90s. So that's part of it. But also, like, for me, this might sound harsh, but you can't give a crap about what any pro driver says about anything that you do. And that's not to diss on that sort of thing. It's just that I focus on the people that pay for their stuff from us, that buy their stuff from us, and also beginners. So if you don't have any beginners coming to your track, you're in trouble, because eventually the expert level drivers will travel a lot, and you'll won't have like a weekend racing at all. You know, our Friday nights are really big. In the summertime it slows down, but in the wintertime it picks up tremendously. Sometimes we can have 4 to 5 heats of our beginner class, which I call Plex Spec. There's no rules in Plex Spec. There's nothing spec about it other than you got to run a 2-cell battery. Other than that, I don't really care what you run. And so what that does is the store, our big store, can sell cars, and then we can flip those guys, turn them into Friday night racers. My motto on Friday night is nobody's any good, nobody cares. Like, I want to make t-shirts that say that. Okay. And then you got to get people comfortable, and you got to build something kind of like a community in a way, but you can't scare people off with, or bore them to death either. All of our Plex Spec racing is heads up. There is no IFMAR qualifying. It's just go out there and race. And so what that's done over the years, and I started that in 2005. And so what that's done over the years for us is we can pick off some of those people and turn them into hardcore Saturday racers that do IFMAR style qualifying, that do care more about their lap times, that do care more about the track being perfect and all that sort of thing. And it's cycle. So we have these kids. I watch all these kids. Like, it's crazy how a lot of these kids now are adults, and I've kind of watched them grow up from being this, short little 5-year-old kid now to being, 20 years old, kind of like my son. And so we're able to have that turnover where 18, 19, 20-year-old kids can kind of get out of our seat sometimes, actually most of the time, but then we backfill that with new kids that come through, and it just keeps happening. So having a really big, strong beginner class, if you have to give them a night to race, or just making sure that you focus a lot on them and pay attention to them and have a facility that sort of caters to that, then everything else, in my opinion, takes care of itself. So this last season, in like our summer series just got over with, and we had more independent racers. So I had almost 20 eligible racers for prizes in independent 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive, and less than 10 in the expert class. That's the first time that's ever happened. So what that's showing me is that I have a lot of new people that are coming in that will eventually turn into expert drivers. It's just this year, a lot of my expert drivers that would have raced like expert stock, they moved on to like mod. So we're in that place right now where it's sort of cycling through, I guess. I've already said that once, but that's kind of what it is. So in my opinion, it's not so much about worrying about like names showing up to your track or anything like that. It's focusing on a beginner level racer. And then in my opinion, everything takes care of itself after that. You also can't be a jerk to people.
No.
So I can be kind of a dick sometimes, and I have learned, and it helps that I've gotten older, but I've learned to sort of like bring that down, and I've tried to be a lot more nicer to people. My problem too is I'm very introverted, and so I try to mask that by being somewhat social and stuff, especially the new people. I really want those new people to come in and feel safe and comfortable in our place so that they can come race, and then eventually maybe, I don't know, one day turn into the next Andrew Thomas that we've had, you know, or Daniel Bender or TJ Williams.
I never would have thought you was introverted.
Well, I mean, I'd like to talk. I like to hear myself talk. So that's why I like doing this sort of thing. But I mean, I can be very standoffish, right? Sometimes I just want to be left alone to announce a race and stuff too, you know?
Got you. Yeah. But I noticed when you have those headsets on and you're working on the track, like, don't disturb me.
Yeah. Right.
All right. Good question. Good answer. And you have definitely created quite a great community up there at the Plex. My video, I'm going to drop it next week. I'm in hurling off. Reason I haven't dropped it because they can hear me breathing a lot. Well, I'm fat and out of shape, but that's all right.
Dude, one of my first YouTube videos, we were doing these unboxings, and my camera guy that used to work with us, he's now a store manager at another store, Cam. He was great. Like he did it. I didn't even have to tell him how to do anything. He just automatically like zoomed in and backed up and kept me in the shot and everything. One of my other guys, I had him, because he wasn't around, I had him do the camera work, and he breathed the whole time. Total mouth breathe the whole time. So guess what happened in the comments? All the comments, man, what's this guy mouth breathing for? Like unwatchable video because of the mouth breathing. Blah 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 blah.
Mine isn't that bad. All right. Well, we got Broc there in the background. He's working on his car, getting it ready. Let's bring him in. Let's have a word. Thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to share this out. We got 78 people, and let's get over 100 in here, and or more. So share this out. We greatly appreciate it. And let's bring in Mr. Broc Champlin. What's up, Broc? How are you?
What's up, guys? Fantastic.
Sporting a new hairstyle today.
Yeah, I got a new hairstyle. I'm growing out a little peach fuzz on the stash, on the chin.
I don't think I've ever seen that from you. I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah. I'm 23 and still have basically no facial hair. So
that's all right. I can't grow a beard. I can grow this, but I can't do this. This doesn't grow at all, so I don't even try.
I was doing that at 14 years old. Welcome, Broc. Hello, Lance. How are you? Welcome to the chat. I've had you on the INS show as well. I think it was like one of our first guests or second guests after the trackside. Welcome back. Thank you for taking out the time to come with us and come talk with us. We greatly appreciate it. I know you're in full Worlds prep, but also congratulations on taking the 4-wheel drive win. You've wrapped that up, so you have that clear. Don't have to worry about that going into Hoosier, but you do have a points battle brewing. You have a points battle with Aiden Horn, who was like your nemesis last year, but actually this year you and him have had zero kerfuffle. In fact, you have had zero kerfuffle at the INS this year. I just wanted to say that. So I would say well done, but I like kerfuffle. So, but good for you. You kind of just kept your head down, been coming to the races. I think you've had an exceptional year as well. You said something to Lance at INS, and you said, I want people to stop saying I am just a carpet racer. I can race on everything. And you have proven that this year. Have you proven that over time? But you definitely have proven it over this year. I watched you at trackside. I watched you at the recent the Plex, where you was dominant. Nobody could touch you. So congratulations on a very good year, I would say. And I was asked to pick my pick for the Worlds, and I put you in my picks for 4-wheel drive. I don't know about 2-wheel drive, but I put you in the picks for 4-wheel drive. And we're going to talk about that because I think Schumacher's got a good car now. Very good car. But welcome.
Well, thanks for the kind words. Yeah, definitely. I think my approach is a lot different to racing now more than ever. I think that is what keeps me away from the drama. Before, I've always been kind of a lippy individual. Like, I don't like when people spout at me. I'll spout back, and I've I don't know, just taking a different approach to everything, trying to have a lot more of a positive like mindset. I think brings up with people, like the carpet math specifically.
I think is this mic breaking up for you?
Yeah.
All right, Brock, you're having a little bit of a mic issue. If it was like static.
It's
and
staticky.
Yeah. Try to talk now.
Hello.
Yeah, it's maybe what we're gonna do is I would say, yeah, we'll go in. Sorry, guys. We do it. There we go.
Could
We'll
be
bring him
internet.
back in. But we'll continue on that.
He was
has
fine
had a-
earlier.
He was fine, I know, but
Yeah.
technology doesn't work all the time.
As soon as we want to hear his answer.
I want to hear that answer. We're gonna ask him again. Hello, Jason. How are you? Thank you for tuning in. Hello, Lance. We got Chemo. Will Crow. How you doing, my friend? Working on my new SCT for Peach State. That's coming up next week. And Andy LaChance. How you doing, sir? But
Chance.
let's touch on that.
He's one of my guys.
Like, oh, here's Brock again, but I don't see his video. So, okay, he's gonna get all sorted out. It has been a very quiet year for Brock, where he hasn't really gotten into any kerfuffles or any type of the drama at the races that I've been to. He's been kind of just quietly putting in work. Had a very good year. He hasn't gone to Australia yet, but I'm looking forward to hearing how he's done and how he's prepared. Maybe growing up, getting a little older now, 23, maturing a little bit, maybe doing this full time as well. I mean, he's been doing it full time for a long time,
Yeah.
but kind of living on his own now. I think he's up there in Utah. So I don't know. You've had more experience probably seeing Brock at your races and stuff like that. I've only seen him a few times at the Florida Carpet Championships, and then of course.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things.
Sure.
I mean, I have some questions for him, but he's always done really good at our place. So the last 3 or 4 years, he's always been battling for the wins, especially in 2-wheel drive. But yeah, he's always done really good. For a while there, it was like Dustin Evans and him, like 21 and 22. It was going to be one of those two for the win.
Really?
Yeah.
Really. We do have a poll going on the NNRC YouTube chat. If you guys can do that. LaChance wants to pivot back to dirt oval for a couple minutes.
Well, yeah. I think he made the
dirt oval.
I think he made the 8 Chili Bowl in one of the other classes too.
Oh, that's why.
It was I'll have to refresh my memory. Maybe Midwest Mod, something like that. I don't know. Again, there's so many classes I can't remember the names of all of them. So you have to forgive me if I screwed that up.
Well, I'll tell you, my first experience with Dart Oval was a Wednesday night in Charlotte, North Carolina. And it was me and my buddy Mike Hill. A lot of off-road racers said, hey, you got to come check out this Dart Oval racing Wednesday night. So we pulled into some dirt road, like out of way off the like beaten path, no lights, no nothing. I'm like, there's no way there's an oval track out here.
Yeah.
Going through the woods, and then you come to like this area and you just see lights. And whoo, it was like 100+ people there.
Oh yeah. My first experience was in the 90s, like that track I talked about. It actually was a hobby town, and it was called Rockbrook, and they had an oval with an off-road built into it. And I think the first night that my parents ever took me there, I raced off-road, and then the second night I raced oval. I raced dirt oval with a Jerix T, and that was super fun because I remember being super excited about how many laps I did. But like now that I'm older and I can use logic, I'm like, well, yeah, you did more laps because you're only going in a circle. Like, of course.
I think Brock's getting sorted out. I see him in the background. We'll give him a couple of seconds. And let's see, he's getting sorted. I think he's good. Let's bring him in, hopefully. Hello, Brock.
Can you hear me this time?
Yeah, that's yep.
Yeah, so the gyro that my phone sits on is like gets quite warm, and the heat went through my phone, and my phone was melting down. So
Oh man.
Oh,
That makes sense.
yeah.
Got you. You're getting compliments on your hair already from Mrs. Martin from Bombshell Racing. She says Brock's new hair
awesome.
just broke the internet.
I just
Hello,
read that.
Bombshell Racing. I see Matthews in her as well. I don't see McCoy in her. All right, Brock. You was in the middle of a very Dennis gimbal just turned that way. You guys,
I think it's the gimbal is the problem.
we just got to get you a regular phone stand. There we go. Tripod.
Dude, Will holds his phone on a Coors Light and like a wooden brick.
You were saying that you approached your racing a little bit different this year. Maybe you can
I want to hear that answer.
You lost all of that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think you had mentioned kind of just keeping my nose out of trouble, I guess. And I think my approach to racing has been so much different, and that's what it all boils down to. Like, I used to spout off at people, and then people would spout off at me, and I would clash, and yeah, just arguments nonstop, just drama, and just, I don't know, craziness. So I've just approached that, tried to take a different approach to things. All right, we're taking this stupid freaking gimbal off. All right, putting it down here. I guess it can't overheat.
No gimbal.
But yeah, I just tried to take a different approach, really, just to my racing, and my personality has changed a lot. For a lot of people that are really close to me, they can kind of explain that. That's not something I care to share with everybody, but yeah, just my personality's changed a lot, and so that's really helped. And I've also changed just like the way when I'm coming into events or things are happening at events, just trying to be have a more positive outlook. So I think that's to thank when it comes to those kinds of things. But I'm naturally like a fiery person. I know that there's probably people in here that watch like the motocross racing scene. Like, there's multiple different ways to go about it. And before, I was more of like the Deegan approach, where I needed something to fire me up. Like, the more upset I was, or the more pissed off I got, the more, I don't know, the better I could focus, the better off I was on track. Now, it didn't help me off track by any stretch, but I've just tried to kind of pull away from that side of things, and it's definitely helped my relationship with a lot of the other racers, like Aiden, for example. Spencer and I had many clashes in the past, and those kinds of things we've grown as individuals, and certainly with myself, for sure. And I think, yeah, we've just grown away from those times. So
I was going to say, see, I've never thought of you like that. Like, I think I've been around a few instances where you've had words with people every once in a while, but sometimes, for where I was looking at it, I was like, well, yeah, he's justified in being pissed off about that. Like, you know?
yeah, I mean, there's certainly scenarios where it's justified, but at the end of the day, sometimes all you do is make a fool out of yourself.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like, I don't know, as I get older, as I mature more throughout life, naturally, I realized that the easy way out is like the easy route to go is just zip it, keep it to yourself. So, I mean,
see
I
a
certainly
trend.
still get really pissed off. There are
Oh,
times
yeah.
you can get me absolutely wound up, but it takes a lot more now. Like, you really have to do something to get me fired up. It used to be like, you look at me wrong and I was fired up.
Mm. Has that helped you in the pits? Like, is it more fun?
Oh, for sure. I think I went from like a more serious pit. I think a lot of this too, like especially the change this year. I know that a lot of the guys that are racing that are my age, like, we're all about the same age. You got like Aiden, Tom, Chase is a little bit younger. Davey's not too far off. Brendan's my age. Um, if I'm missing anybody, my apologies. But we're all about the same age, and Spencer isn't too much older than us. And I think because I am very much like a cut the crap kind of guy, and like I'm there to not just like, I think a lot of people certainly come in with the approach, like Aiden has a more fun approach, for example, who come in and he's having a good time. They have a lot of laughing going on in the pits, and Tom is the same way. And so when Tom joined the team, it really, I think it changed myself as well. Like, more people come and conversate with me. I think people get a little bit more of like a Broc Champlin away from the racetrack kind of feel, because it's like two different people. Um, but I think Tom is somewhat to thank for just like being outside of my shell a little bit, having more conversations with people, meeting new people, like the Omaha crew, for example, your guys' entire crew. Last year, Andrew Thomas's dad and I at the INS finals, out of pure frustration, I crashed and I sat upside down for so long. And I came back to the pits and I slammed the table. And he didn't like that I had slammed the table. It scared him and his wife. And I totally understood it. But at the same time, like, my rebuttal was like, this is my job. If you have a bad day at work, you're not going to be happy either. But we've since moved past that. And I think I've realized so quickly that Tom and those guys, like for example, the Omaha crew, are such amazing people. And so now that I'm able to like conversate with those people and they get a taste of my actual personality and not just the racing me, I think it's really changed the dynamic. I don't know what happened to Alex here.
No, I'm still here.
Yeah, he's still there. His camera's not
I think
on,
the
but
camera shut off.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Little technical difficulties.
This show's full of this stuff tonight.
I know. That's all right. We're still getting the
There I
message
am.
up.
Hey,
A bigger picture now, more far back. There's his producer. There we go. We're adjusting cameras on both sides here. Good.
Yes.
So I guess having more of a Schumacher obviously has grown in size a lot this year with a lot of the TLR dismissal of the pro team last year. You picked up good picks like Tom Rinnick, obviously, as well as Nate Sutherland and many other guys as well. Probably not as big as many people as the X-Ray team has put up or the Associated team, but a formidable team nonetheless. And you are correct. Tom is a very outgoing, very if you're more, if I would say you're more introverted a little bit, because I think the first time I even really had a decent conversation with you outside of an interview was at trackside, when we kind of just sat off and we was talking. I said, well, that's the first time I really talked to you. And then even when we had our interview, it was good.
can I ask Brock a quick question here?
Sure.
Okay, going into the new season with both Tom and Nate as teammates. In the past, you've had run-ins with them. Was that something that you thought about, or is that not even in your mind when that happens?
Can you still hear me? Because it muted and I unmuted. You can hear me, right?
Yep, I can hear you.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I thought about. Tom and I really haven't had, like, we had the kerfuffle last year at Iowa.
At Island.
And I think that was like you're coming into somebody's home track. It was really just Tom and I battling. Like, I'm sorry for anybody else that was there, but we were far ahead of everybody.
Oh, we know. We were there. We saw.
I think that emotions boiled over because we were so close every single run, but we were so far ahead of the next guy. And so it was really just a one-on-one. There wasn't like make a mistake. Like, you could make a mistake and we would still be a few seconds ahead of third in most of the runs. So I think the emotions kind of boiled over. It was his home track. He's really obviously trying to prove a point, and he had really good stuff. He drove amazing. And yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't, at one point on that main day, like, I had absolutely no confidence. I couldn't drive the dang cars. The cars were good. They vacuumed the track. Everything felt a little bit funky, and then kind of realizing like the pressure and stuff. And I think a lot of the reason I actually don't like the carpet guy terminology is because it puts more pressure on me. And I'm not like I like the pressure, but I think that sometimes people like just expect it to happen. Like, they just are like, oh, he's going to a carpet race, he's going to win. I don't like that, you know? Otherwise, why are the other guys going? And so, I don't know, I think Tom and I definitely had that scuffle. Other than that, there's really never been much with Tom. Not that I can think of, at least. Obviously, Nate and I, we've had last year, we got into it at Omaha.
Yeah.
And but I think that was like I don't know, I'm not a guy like, that's where the personality changes come in, because I used to, no matter where I was, how I was doing, you could really get under my skin. Now you have to literally probably hit me as hard as you can and throw me into the wall, and my car has to shatter before you really get me that fired up. And I think that was just like, here's this kid, he's now interrupting the racing, like he's up there battling, like he's not interrupting, but he's throwing his name in the mix now. And I think I got the same treatment when I first was like on the scene racing with the guys like Mayfield. I absolutely love Mayfield, but if you go ask Mayfield what he thought of me and how he felt in the conversations that we have had before, there was a point in time where Mayfield just didn't like me. And I think anytime somebody new comes on the scene, you're so everything's so fixed to just what the norm is.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a new guy racing. They race differently, and everything just feels different. And so that was just like a fluke thing. I was fired up. It was obviously, and at Omaha, I've won every single time I've gone there in 2-wheel drive, and I think I've won 2 of the 4 times in 4-wheel.
Yeah.
And I finished second the other time in 4-wheel. And that specific weekend, I was 8th in 4-wheel. So it was
Yeah.
by far the worst time I've had in a class at that race. And I was just,
The track was
stuff
hard.
boiled over.
That
Yeah.
layout was hard. It was hot.
Yeah.
You know, it was just kind of one of those things. But I just wanted to ask that because I've never been in a position where I've suddenly have a teammate with, you know, somebody that I just had a run into, you know, a couple months before. So I just
Yeah,
want
I
to see
mean-
your insight on that.
Tom is no problem. Tom and I talk like every second of every day, it feels like at times. And we work really well together. But yeah, Tom and I have never really had, I mean, even that stuff that happened, I'm very much like, you can piss me off. If talk to me 5 minutes later, that's probably your best
Yeah.
option. If you
Yep.
talk to me 5 minutes later, it's like, I don't care. Something happens, I say something, and I just don't ever think about it again. So I don't hold grudges. I don't do any
Right.
of that stuff. It was a little bit awkward with Nate at first, I'll admit, because like that had happened and it kept getting brought up, but we've since moved on from that.
Yeah.
And
Sorry to bring
Tom
it
and
up
I
again.
moved on from our situation like
Right.
literally the next race. So
Yeah, I figured. Cool. Okay.
I'm gonna have to go research that incident now because I don't know what it's about. So
It's fine.
all right.
you're more than welcome to, man. Everything's out there on social media. Everything is accessible. I mean,
There's a
just
live
was just
stream.
hitting, bumping, racing, takeouts, and then words get said, and then words get screamed, and then somebody has to act like a bigger person, and boom, bomb. So
It happens. I mean, people believe that you guys are Superman and shouldn't hit each other. But what they don't understand is that when you guys do hit each other, it's just as much as a surprise for you guys as it is for everybody else because
Yeah.
you didn't plan that sometimes, unless you did plan it. But
I can't think of a time that really happened. I've never really been like, yeah, I'm just going to go take somebody out for fun. I've certainly joked about it before. If someone gets me fired up enough, I'm like, I'll just burn your doors off, dude. But that hasn't happened in a long time, man. A lot has changed for me. So
that's good. That's good. I guess it comes with age. It comes with maturity. And you talk about Mayfield. You've been doing this for quite some time. You're 23, but you have been doing this for quite some time on a professional level.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I think my first year of being like making a paycheck doing it. I mean, it was nothing extravagant, but I think it was what 2019, 2020. I don't know, one of those years. But I mean, in the RC industry, it takes a lot to prove yourself before you can even get a paycheck. I think I won Surf City in 2018 in one of the classes, and that used to be like a really big, like it was almost the nationals.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've definitely already been through quite a bit. I've experienced quite a bit. Definitely not as much as some of the other guys, and not as much as what's going to come. But yeah, I've been doing it a little bit longer than I think people think.
Awesome. Let's talk about your INS so far this year. So, like I said, I got to see you at trackside. You won 4-wheel drive out there. You didn't top 3 in 2-wheel drive. That was like my first time ever seeing you racing on dirt at all. Because I don't think I've seen you at Masters. That would be the only place that I think otherwise I would have seen you. Because that was only my second dirt race, to be honest.
Yeah, I've raced Masters like the last 2 years. I could have won
Okay.
it this last year, but that was another. That honestly, the Masters actually that you mentioned is where the personality change came from. Because Dakota and I, basically, it was one of the qualifiers, the last round of qualifying. I'd already TQ'd overall, and I don't know what was going through my head, but I passed Dakota back, and it was lights out fury from there. Like Dakota lost his mind on me, I lost my mind on Dakota, and that's when I realized to myself, this last Masters of Dirt, I was like, I can't act a fool anymore. Like I need to be more professional. I need to contain my emotions and like settle where things need to be settled. But yeah, that Masters of Dirt is like hopefully the turning point of not ever having to deal with bull crap like that again. That I start,
Cool. I get it, man. I get it. It's called reflection. Even as I get older and get closer to 50, I still learn things, and I have my failures where I get back into my childish ways as well. So life is about learning and improving, right? So
Definitely.
it's going to be a continuous thing, and it's good to see you making some strides in that. But yeah, INS, you're doing pretty well. You had a 5th in 2-wheel drive at trackside. You didn't come to RC1. I can't remember what was. Did you have something else going on at RC1 or?
I think there was something else going on. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
Otherwise I would have been there. I think.
Yes.
Oh, no. I didn't go to RC1, so this kind of ties into stuff we're going to talk about as the new 4-wheel drive. But we chose to not go to RC1 because we had just got the 4-wheel drive and we were focused on the dirt nationals.
Got you. Okay. Got you. And then if we fast forward, we're going to talk about the car. I just want to go through some of your results right here. Then we go to round 3, which I didn't go to. You swept that. You took you at Island. You dominated. Was you won? You won 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive. It was Spencer Rifkin, Aiden Horn in 2-wheel drive, and 2nd and 3rd, and Brendan Schimmel and Tom, your teammate. His home track, probably a little bit disappointed because I know he wants to do well at his home track. Even though I know HobbyPlex could be considered his home track too, Alex.
Oh, no worries.
Obviously, and then we come to HobbyPlex, which was just uber impressive because the only person that probably had something for you all weekend was Aiden, and that was probably, okay, he had some errors, he had some coming together, you had a coming together with him and you as well. He had a coming together with some lap traffic, but to be fair, he was quite dominant at there, I guess, carrying on your success from Island. So I guess maybe tell us a little bit about your run at Island, because I wasn't there. I didn't get to see it. I didn't get to see anything about it. But you go on that confidence and go right into the 3rd round here at HobbyPlex. Did you get some confidence that you might have needed for this year at the at round 3?
I would say I started out the year quite okay. I Clash, I was quite quick, and then that kind of boiled over into trackside for the first round of INS, and we kind of made a big stride in 4-wheel drive. What's actually really cool is we can, I guess, brag about this at Schumacher, but we've won the series with 2 different platforms. So trackside was with the old car, the new car was at Highland. So I would say that was a bit of a confidence boost. And then at Hobby Action, I felt really good. And, there was some teams had advantages with tires and other things there. And at like the Desert Classic, and I felt really, really good just in general. And then we got the new platform, and kind of ever since we got the new platform, I've just felt amazing. Like when I go and run at the track now and I'm running 4-wheel drive, I just feel like at home. And that kind of just leading up to Island, I hadn't even drove the car on carpet yet. And even before the Carpet Nationals, the only time I had driven that shaft car was when I was there at the INS. And yeah, I think we got there, and Spencer did TQ 4-wheel drive for that event, but we were able to make a couple of strides right before the main events in the last qualifier. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say Spencer TQ'd round 1, maybe Brennan TQ'd round 2, and I think I TQ'd round 3. And so it kind of was going every which way in 4-wheel drive, but yeah, I just got out there in the mains. And like one of the beautiful things about driving a shaft car, and we had the belt car for so long, but the belt car, you had to drive a lot harder, in my opinion. And so now when I'm in the racing with the shaft driven car, I feel like I don't have to drive as hard to like produce lap times. I don't have to drive as hard to keep up. I feel like I have an extra few percent when I really just pull the trigger full throttle. As for the belt car, sometimes I'd be running 3rd trying to catch up, and I'm just losing time and I'm maxed out. And so I think that's been a huge help for the confidence, is just the new platform's been amazing. And then 2-wheel drive went really, really good there. My 2-wheel drive, just on carpet in general, has been lights out since I got my butt kicked by Tom. We made a bunch of improvements before the Nationals last year, then went into the Nationals, won it last year, won Florida Carpet Champs in 2-wheel drive, and then brought it to Island and just amazing. So yeah, I think a lot of it is running on confidence for Island, but I think just the cars in general have been super, super good, especially on the carpet scene. And so I think that was kind of like definitely was awesome. And then winning that for sure built the confidence going into Omaha. So
Well, you're home track now, right? Because you're in Salt Lake, right?
yeah, I'm in Salt
So
Lake.
your home track is Eaton's, which is a dirt track.
Yes, it is. We do have a glued surface, and
Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't consider it anything like Hoosier. There's no track like Hoosier. Like they put down 10 times the glue of anybody else. So we still have forgiveness and whatnot. And that's about a year old kind of thing. And so before that, it was only ever dirt, like regular clay, like it wasn't glued.
Right.
Interesting. That answers Lance McDonald's question, because he was asking, what is it like changing from a belt-driven to a shaft-driven car? You answered that. And he wanted to know what was some of the notable differences. You also kind of answered that as well. You're just able to push it more, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think it took Schumacher so? I know they've been doing belts for a long time, and shaft-driven cars have been around for so long as well. They're like the last of the Mohicans. They were the last people to do it, or last competitive car to do it. Was it just because it's better on carpet, or was what were the decisions to finally go to the shaft-driven car after so long?
I mean, I think we were ahead of the 8 ball for many, many years on the high grip stuff. We had the front adjustable brake, the FAB system, which didn't exist in the shaft-driven cars. So the advantage to the belt car for many, many years was you get on the brakes, the car doesn't dive up on the nose because you just loosen the front brakes. So the car stays very flat and you don't lose time on entry. You have extra entry steering compared to the shaft-driven cars. However, as time goes by, people figure out how to make stuff for a shaft-driven car that will do the exact same thing. And I believe X-Ray was probably the first people to do it, and they built a front adjustable brake slipper, a one-way slipper for their four-wheel drive. And just over time, as they got the shaft-driven car figured out with that, we started to just fall behind. And we were still winning races, and it was still a competitive car, but we had to drive it a lot harder than we had preferred. And as far as handling, jumping, landing, steering, all that stuff goes, it was amazing. But it was just the get up and go out of the corner. A belt car, I try to explain to people, once I get past half RPM, it feels like the belt car is endless power. It just keeps pulling and pulling and pulling. However, the bottom end, the drive line might be a lot lighter, but the actual friction of the belts, because as time has gone by, we run more power. Well, more power with belts, you got to run a tighter belt. So as the belt gets tighter and tighter and tighter, the more power you run, you start losing like that, just like the edge on the bottom. So now we're getting pulled out of the corners. And I think I want to say at some point last year is when they started the development. And I think we just brutally got our butts kicked at a race. It was a carpet race. And they were like, all right, it's time for shafts. And we had an amazing car and we just couldn't get out of the corners. So we had just and decided let's make a shaft-driven car that handles just like our belt-driven car, and we'll have a really good platform. And I had preached since the moment I joined Schumacher, which was 2022. I had said, well, 2021 maybe, yeah, 2021 I joined, and I just was like the whole time I was like, dude, if you put this exact geometry on a shaft-driven four drive, it would be ridiculous. And so that's kind of that's the route we've gone.
Impressive. It's looking good in your hands. It's looking good in your teammates' hands over there in Europe. I guess my next question on that would be, do Schumacher listen to you? Because it's a difference, right? It's a difference from over there in Europe and over here in the USA. Different surfaces. They don't race on dirt as much as you guys do. Even I think like the carpet that you guys use is a little different as well, or that we use over here. So where they said, I know it took a long time to get the shaft-driven car, but are they more open-minded or open-eared listening to you guys suggestions now over here in the USA?
I would like to believe so. I think Trish takes a lot of what we say as positive input. One of the hard things about adapting to Schumacher was a lot of the times, like I'm very blunt. If people know me, I'm very blunt, especially when it's something that's serious. So if it relates to the car, I'm very blunt, and sometimes I can come off as just like super rude. And when you come off as rude, you don't want to listen. So I think as time has gone by, we've learned to communicate with each other better. They understand me more, and I understand them a little bit more. And so that certainly helped as far as like them wanting to listen and me putting in my input. But Trish really does listen well. And one of the things that I was really has been amazing since the time I joined Schumacher is it feels like no matter what, I'll be at a race and I'll be missing steering, for example. And I don't know where it's coming from. I have no idea. And then a week later, there's a part on my doorstep. And I try the part and go figure, there's more steering in the car now. So Trisha's really good at figuring things out as long as you can give back the input like, oh, the front feels like this or the rear feels like this or the car doesn't go here, but it goes here. And yeah, I think Trish definitely listens really well. He's an amazing engineer. So, and a very bright, like, it seems like he always has like a really good answer. You don't ever get like a, well, you could do this. It's always like a do this that will for sure fix it. You do it, perfect, good to go.
He's very articulated, very well
Yes.
spoken, very nice man. And I assume having a bigger team now of equal level drop, because it was kind of just you and Schumacher for a long time over here in the USA. But having Tom, having Nate, a couple other guys here, I'm assuming this helps you guys bounce ideas off each other. And it's the proof's in the pudding, right? You guys are doing well. I would say the smallest of the big teams and still competing against the big dogs over here. I know over in Europe it's a little different because it's mostly Schumacher. Well, Schumacher, it's the same. It's Schumacher, X-Ray, and Associated, but it's kind of, I would say, more heavily X-Ray and Schumacher compared to Associated.
Yes.
But I saw it this year, and you can see it. Nate's doing well. You're doing well. And good stuff, man. Good stuff to Schumacher for coming up with and a very anticipated car. People were talking about this for quite some time.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely it's weird to get back into the swing of having teammates. Like you're a creature of habit, right? So each and every day when you go to the track and you don't have a teammate, you really just learn to do things yourself. Going to the track feels a lot different than going to the track when you have somebody else suggesting something or trying to work on stuff with you. And yeah, it's definitely been a huge help, and I'm really appreciative of what Schumacher's done in making the strides. I think people are really starting to believe in the States, because I think before I had joined, I really never saw the cars, and now it's just awesome to see. Like when I go to any track now, there's Schumacher cars. So
that's one thing that I've noticed at Omaha is Andrew and Dalton, and when they're at the track on our practice nights or on a club race day, they're always on their phones clicking with Tom about stuff.
Yeah. Tom is very, very good at communicating.
Yeah.
I don't know how he does it, man. I leave a lot of people on open. I leave a lot of people on red. I try my best, and I'm getting a lot better at it as I'm learning Tom's habits, but he's really, really good with that stuff. And that's why those kids are so dedicated to his program, and they want to do what he's doing because they can receive so much from him.
Yep. Good stuff. Good stuff. I like Tom. Hey, Ronnie Rifkin says he's proud of you, Broc. What's up, Ronnie? How you doing?
Thanks, Ronnie. Ronnie sends me the weirdest stuff, dude. It's the weirdest thing. It'll be the most random text messages about the most random things, or it's the most random phone call asking the most random question. Like I love Ronnie. So
he's a stud, that's for sure. All right. So Hoosier coming up very shortly here. After the Worlds, we're going to get into the Worlds here. But let's talk about the finals here. Like you said, you have four-wheel drive wrapped up. And we had Aiden on here. He's going to give it his best at the race. He wants to take that two-wheel drive title for you. The ball's pretty much in your court. I think we worked it out last week. I'm sure Alex wrote down notes. I know I didn't. But I see it. I write in notes. But it's going to be close. Aiden said that he's not that good at Hoosier. You did well at if I remember, how did you do at the Clash? I can't remember. I wasn't watching back then.
I was second in two-wheel drive.
All right, so it's positive for you as well. So, what is your game plan coming into Hoosier in a few weeks' time?
I'm actually really excited about Hoosier. I've never been more like, to be honest with you, I know we have the Worlds coming up, but when we got back from the Nationals, I was pretty pissed off. Like, I'll just tell you, I got home, I had one mistake. I think I clipped a pipe in one of the seeding runs. The other seeding run was perfect. All the qualifiers, 0 mistakes. I had more 99% consistency runs in that weekend than I've ever had. And it was all from 2-wheel drive. Every single run, everything was perfect. And I was 4th. So I got home and I just went to town, man. I started Brennan had won. So I really looked into what those guys were doing. I was looking into just, even the AE guys, like Davey was really quick. So I'm trying to figure out what they were doing. And I found a lot of little things that went so much further than I thought would go. Like, it's as simple as just little bind spots in the car and mechanical bind through the transmission and stuff like that makes a huge difference. Like, your bone in your outdrive is unbelievable what that can actually do in a car. So I'm really looking forward to going. Looking forward to just a little bit of redemption from the last time we were there for the Nationals. I would love to drive just as good, but have a little bit more in the gas tank, and I think I should be okay. As far as the math goes, I have a 101 and a 101, and it was at 96 for a 5th.
Yeah.
And then what's Aiden got?
He's got a 101, a 99, and 2 98s.
2 98s.
Yeah, so he's got a 98 at RC1 and a 98 at Island.
I thought he had finished 2nd there. So are we tied then? Even with,
if you take one of his drops away, then yeah, you guys are tied.
Gotcha. Wow, I didn't know that. I thought he had it. So how I had thought about it was basically if Aiden TQs and wins, it's done. If Aiden wins, it's done.
Mm-hmm.
If Aiden finishes 2nd, all I have to do, I think, is finish 4th.
Mm-hmm. You got to improve your throw out.
Yeah. But, I'm definitely not thinking about it like that. I'd rather just go and figure out how to win. And then hopefully that that solidifies it, obviously. So just go and try and win. And if not, just put it on the box and see what happens. But yeah, it's going to be close. Aiden can say he's not good there. Aiden's good there. He won last year's it wasn't 2 years ago. He won the INS there in 2-wheel drive. So I don't know what he's talking about. He's quick there. Aiden's always quick. So it'll be good for sure.
Okay. I just wanted to remind people we do have a poll on the No Name RC podcast YouTube about what type of surface. If you click the poll and vote, we will have the results at the end of this conversation.
Bunch of 8-scale people are voting on that.
Booster.
I know, but I see people putting in the comments, and gotta go vote on there. I would love to do it on the JConcepts one, but we'll get it. We'll get that sorted next week. Okay, so Aiden did say something that was interesting to us last week. My question to him was about, I would really like to see you top guys take the INS a little bit. Obviously, you take it seriously in this run, but there's no fend. He hasn't showed up for a lot of the rounds. I get it. Guys are busy. Some of these guys are racing 8-scale and whatnot. And Aiden pretty much said that on his contingency scale, he gets very little for the INS. And right now, it is the only 10-scale series going on in the world. Period. It's international, because international people could come do it. But on a national series, like over there in America, but the international guys can come as well. I don't know how you feel about it. Maybe some things you'd like to see improve. How do we get these guys? Because we want you guys. I see you taking the point seriously. You've done the math. You figured it out. But we really need to get you guys behind that as well, right? And promoting it and taking it seriously. I think it's a cultural thing because we're not used to it in the USA and RC. But what's your opinion on that? And what would you like to see improved from your peers in this? Because I would love that the finals comes on. We have all the top guys there racing, right?
Yeah.
I understand that there's another race going on that same weekend, but I think the INS having a series is important, and we need you guys, because it starts from the top, right? Because the people that are paying for this and paying to come here, they're taking it serious. Like, they're going to all the rounds. They're taking the points serious. And I want you guys to take it serious as well. I'm not saying that you aren't. I'm just saying some of your peers. Like we need to see everybody showing up, every top 10 scale racer showing up as much as possible, at least for 3 of these rounds.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I know as much as my thing too is like there's a couple guys not even going to the last round because they don't have a chance for the overall series. My whole thing about the series, I actually think that the series should be classified. Like if you win the series, you should be. I feel like people should be more proud of winning the series now than a Roar National title.
It gets more
That's
entries.
my hot take.
And
And the reason I say this is you're racing on this year through. Well, let's be honest, 4 different surfaces this year
Yeah.
because trackside's its own surface, Omaha is its own surface, carpet, and glue. So you're racing on 4 surfaces. You've got 5 rounds. And for me, as far as like contingency goes, like I'm not going to spout my contingency, but it isn't a whole lot different than a national title. Like it does pay pretty well. So it's like, for me, I feel like it's more like you just showed up, you had to show up, you had to score your best points. Even like especially when you miss a round, you give the other guys an opening. Like especially like for me, you could say like, "Oh, I missed a carpet round." That was an opening.
Mhm.
Like what does the series look like if I didn't miss the carpet round? Could I have bettered that 5? So, it's really hard to win if you don't attend every single round. And you got 5 different surfaces to race on. I personally feel like it's honestly harder to win the JConcepts series than it is to win a national title. A national title is 5 days of racing. The whole series combined is what, 20 days of racing.
Yeah, so our ProTech race that we have in April every year, like I've structured that by how INS does it. So every time something changes on INS, we do the same thing at the ProTech race. I stopped emulating our big race after the Roar stuff because I thought the INS was better.
I mean, I have no shot against Roar. I don't want that to be like.
Yeah, and that's not what you're saying.
I have no shot against Roar. I think it's the same thing with the Reedy race. I think that the Reedy race used to be harder to win than one class at the Worlds.
Yep.
Because you had heads up racing. You had 12 rounds.
Yep.
You had to be perfect. You had to pass. You had random grid start positions. Some guys would average a better starting, and it's both classes combined. And at the end, you had 2 runs that didn't matter for the whole thing. The Reedy race to me was harder to win the Worlds.
And it's more fun to watch.
Just as much prep as a Worlds too.
Yeah.
Mr. Reedy race. I really do.
Yeah.
But I think it starts with you guys. Like I think it's unfortunate that the vintage race is the same weekend as INS, the INS finals, right? But we need you guys to take it seriously because you guys are the top tier. Like we always scream, we need a series, we need a series, we need a series, but we have one. And like you said, on 4, almost 5 different surfaces altogether, right? And I'm glad that you have. I understand that you missed 1 round. You have 2 drops. You just have to make 3. But I would love to see people come for 5. Right? I understand that many people have more like 8 scale races and schedules, but I agree. Aiden said he would like to see a payout, and I think I mentioned that to Ron on one of our podcasts as well. He would like to see a payout going out throughout all the classes, but I would definitely like to see a payout, some sort of payout. Not schedule, but payout contingency for you guys to make it better and more appealing. And I feel as this is the only international 10 scale series going on in the world right now, because people would say EOS, but EOS is 1 race now.
Yep.
And it was at its time, EOS was one of the best, if not the best series in the world.
Oh, it's so rad. I tried to copy so much stuff from EOS when I was building carpet tracks at the
exactly. It's unfortunate that it is going, but my dream is to see some of these fast European and now Japanese, because we have the Kayuki Kata. He's really fast too. My dream is to see some of these international guys come over and participate in the INS, because it amps up the level more, right? But it has to start with you guys. So I implore your peers, which are the pro guys, to come out and take part of this. Take it more seriously, like you are. You guys are taking it seriously. You and Aiden are taking it seriously.
I mean, dude, I take this serious. This series, thankfully, I've been in a position to win it every single year with both classes coming down to the last round. Otherwise, I can't. I don't know if I would take it as serious, you know. But I've
Yeah.
had the opportunity to battle for the championship, shall we say, at the end for the last, I don't know, 4 years. But like right now, I mean, I leave on Thursday. I've got a flight to Australia, and right now I'm prepping my car to go and run on Saturday to go try a couple things. So when I come home from the Worlds, I don't have much time to run. Like I have maybe the Tuesday, and then I have to hop on a flight Wednesday. So I'm going to go run on Saturday, go run my Worlds 2-wheel, and go run my Hoosiers 2-wheel to like I'm taking it quite serious. Like
You
I'm
ready?
building my Hoosier 4-wheel drive. That way when I get home, like if I have the opportunity and the owner allows me to go on like the Monday, then I'll be able to go. But yeah, I always feel like I come in with like the most zesty ideas with setup and stuff, and I'm always kind of throwing stuff at the wall because I want to make sure that, you know, for me, like I want to make sure if I have the best opportunity to win. So as far as the cash payout goes, my only thing about that is I think it's really difficult to judge the pay scale when it comes to those things. I personally feel like that's a team obligation, a contract thing that needs to happen. I think that if the drivers want more money from it, that's something that they should be chasing with their sponsors. But the only way they're going to get that from their sponsors is if it grows, like the hype around it grows. So, and where does that start? It starts from the racers, like you're saying. So, if the racers build more hype around it, then they can get the teams to pay more. I just don't know if the current state of RC allows for a cash payout per se.
Yeah.
I just don't know how that works. I know that we had the exact challenge that did that the one year. Hoosier does it for the Clash of Champions, but it's really just the champion that gets like the big cash flow, which is fine too. But at the same time, like they're doing it in dirt bike racing. Like this weekend is the final $1 million for the 450 class. But then you look at the breakdown and everybody's getting paid well. So it's like, how do you adjust the scale? But in reality, I think it needs to go through sponsors and the drivers. That should be their responsibility to go chase that with their sponsors and their responsibility to promote it enough to where its sponsor can justify giving money for it like that.
I like that answer. Two different viewpoints.
Yep.
I get it. But I do agree with you. It starts with you guys, right? Because the average racer is making all the trips. And they have a full-time job, and they are paying out of pocket to come to these races, which we greatly appreciate. All right, that's a great.
So I will
segment.
tackle that. Tackle that. I do think this comes back to what Alex was talking about before you guys pulled me into the room. Catering to the guys that are supporting the Bills. I am totally not against having a cash purse for your independent classes. Your stock classes are tough at the moment, but the independent classes,
40 plus.
short course, 40 plus, it just kind of like 40 plus would count because it's the guys that are racing that. I mean, you got Brent.
We're all the dads.
Yeah, I mean, you're not like a factory getting factory stuff.
No.
You got Brent, Al. Those are kind of the only guys I think that are traveling from event to event that are getting like free stuff. They're doing all of them. But I think that like the classes like the independent and stuff, hell yeah, give them cash, man.
Yep.
Make
I'm
it
not
worth
mad
it.
with that. I'm not mad with that at all. And I agree. It should be on the driver's responsibility to go get that money, hype it up, and make it worthwhile to the sponsors, right? Because
And then maybe you never know. You reap the benefit of the contract that you just signed. You win, you get that, and then you hype it up enough to where somebody like JConcepts, the guy is presenting the series, gives a cash purse on top of that. But it starts with the racers, so I completely agree.
Awesome. Matthew Scott Martin loves that idea. All the cash should go to the Indy classes. There we go. I like that idea. All right, let's switch gears a little bit. You showed us your World's car, your tires that you're using. We got the Worlds coming up. Probably one of the most talked about Worlds.
I can't wait.
Worlds in a long time. I know last year at Hobby Action was 2 years ago at Hobby Action, it was a lot of chat around it because it was coming back to the USA. But going back to Australia, outdoor dirt, there is a lot of hype around this Worlds. You have not been there yet. So you're one of the few drivers that have not been there. What have you been doing in preparation for the Worlds? What do you think about it? And what is your attitude going into it?
A lot of golf. I'll post some GoPro footage tomorrow after I'm done at the lake. No, but the actuality is I've been practicing. I have been doing those things, but I have found for myself, and multiple people have pointed this out in the past, when there's no expectation, I do really well, which is why I don't like the carpet thing again. So when there's no expectation and I go in there not thinking, oh, this is what my car did last time, I'm expecting it to do this, and I think that's all like nonsense for me. For other people that works, for me it doesn't. So it's a clean slate. I'm going there. I've never been there before. I've never seen the venue. I've seen the pictures of the track. I've seen a video on the track. Haven't seen much other than that. I don't know what the pits even look like. I have no clue where the pits are.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen any pictures of the pits.
I don't know what anything looks like other than I know that the dirt is brown and there's pipes and there's grass in the infield. That's it. And I think keeping that fresh mind coming into it is that's my approach. I haven't ran on any outdoor stuff. However, when I was growing up racing, if anybody in this chat or anybody watching this knows the old 702, that's where grew up racing. I would be willing to put money on it that it was probably worse traction than what we're going to have at the Worlds. So I actually really enjoy it. I really enjoy drifting the car around. My parents owned a track for a little while. It was really, really low grip. Drifting. Every time like the stuff's loose, I enjoy driving it. And when I enjoy it, I normally do better. So I'm really looking forward to just like the clean mindset. We're going to Australia, for goodness sake. Like we get to go to Sydney. That's super cool, you know? So yeah, I'm just excited to go. I'm excited to be there. I'm not excited for the 15-hour flight from LA. But as far as everything else goes, yeah, I've been running here at home. I'm running on a like I had said, I've only ran at my home track with these tires, but I've been running the world setup. I can just tell you right now, when these tires go bald, the compound's interesting and it doesn't have any traction even on glue. So been drifting around. I just haven't driven on a bumpy track yet. So
just to put that in perspective, though, so the Worlds at Hobby Action with slicks with no sauce. I mean, it wasn't exactly super high grip there either.
No,
and you finished third.
Yeah.
So I mean, you could, if you can wheel. I think if you can wheel, you can wheel.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think that. I mean, I'm baking on what I know. What I know is I have driven an RC car for many years. I know how it reacts on low grip. I know that you have to counter steer in spots. However, I think something else people are overlooking too is it is the Worlds. And every time there's a Worlds, there's always something slightly different. One of the things to really think about here, which is one of the reasons I did not want to go in the first place, was that track layout was in for almost 2 years.
Yeah, that's new.
And I don't think people, when you're running on a loamy outdoor track and it rains as much as it rains there, that track was packed in entirely different than what we're racing on. So there's a chance we get there and nobody has any idea what's going on. Maybe the locals might, but some of the people traveling might not know. It might not be anything like that. And every time I ever go to a nationals, anytime I go, even from track to track, year to year, it's always a different story. Hobby Action, oh my goodness, the Worlds was nothing like we expected. We didn't think it was going to be that low of grip.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, you bought 16 sets of tires.
Yeah. Well, we didn't, but that was another thing. Like, we got thrown the curveball. We go to go glue up our 4-wheel drive tires, and they go, by the way, we don't have enough tires for you guys to glue. So there's always something with it that changes the dynamic. Everything's going to be a little bit different. Heck, there's a chance that, we might use both rain days. There's a chance the whole thing could get rained out. You don't know. So I think just keeping a fresh mindset, understanding I've done it before. I've raced a Worlds before. I've raced an RC race before. Go in, keep it fresh. Driven these cars with these setups, driven these tires, ran through to slicks a million times. I should be good to go. It's just going to be adapting to what's around me.
Mm-hmm.
I like that game plan. I am pleasantly surprised with your answers tonight, Broc. Pleasantly surprised. I like it. I like it.
So intelligent.
Yes, very good, very good. I like the thoughts on that. I'm looking forward to it. The Worlds are from, I think, the 29th or 28th. They start on the Sunday, do they?
Yeah.
You go.
I think
Yes.
check-in is on 29th, and then we do two-wheel drive. I want to say is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Mhm.
Thursday is off day / four-wheel check-in, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then I believe ceremony. If it's not Sunday, it'll be Monday. Plus, we have the 2 rain days.
Mm.
So I
Hopefully
want to say
you-
we end maybe like the 7th or the 8th.
Okay, sweet.
It's,
I'm gonna have
it's
to.
October 8th.
Really, that's when I leave. I'm gonna have to. Hopefully, you guys get done so I can have a recap of that.
Well,
Before
either way,
we
we
leave.
will be done because even if they use the 2 rain days, that 8th day I want to say is ceremony day.
Right.
I want to say. I don't know. It's a very interesting schedule for sure.
It's long.
Yeah.
It's very
I
long.
realized the other day I was like, dude, do I even have like enough shorts for this trip? Because I don't rewear clothes, man. I am a freak about those things. I was like, do I even have 16 pairs of shorts?
Dude.
Like,
So at Hobby Action Worlds, right? So it was 10 days, and I think I only owned like 4 or 5 pair of shorts. And I got to be honest with you, I haven't done my own laundry in like 24 years. So doing my own laundry in the middle of the week there was like an eye-opening experience. And I came back and I was like, babe, I love you.
that's tough work.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we're trying to keep these to about 90 minutes. We got about 10, 15 minutes left to go. We're going to open up to some questions. We do have some questions here in the chat. One up by 7. He goes, I know he's been before, but could you ask Broc if he will be doing more carpet international races like EOS, MKGP soon after Australia?
I definitely would be open to doing it. Yeah, last time I went to MKGP, I was extremely sick the entire time I was there, and it's very cold in the UK at that time of year, and
I remember that.
they don't have heat, so you could see your breath almost all day. It was so cold inside of the mall, and I was extremely sick. I mean, I had like Mark Musgrove, the Schumacher team manager, was going to the store, buying me blankets and stuff. I could barely walk. Like I was just sick. And then I also had like a very personal thing, a personal matter regarding family when I was there. And that made things even worse. So I would love some redemption at the MKGP. I've spoke about it. I know Schumacher wants me to do it. EOS went really, really well when I went there. It'd be cool to go back. But yeah, I would love to do those races for sure.
What EOS rounds did you go to?
I went to Dawn. I went to
Okay.
Dawn in 2023. 2023, I went to Dawn. I won 2-wheel drive, was second in 4-wheel.
Awesome. All right, we got your nemesis, X-ray nemesis, Brennan Schimmel, Muscles. Is there
I
a
can
time
read it.
frame on when we will be practicing our hand-eye coordination on CS Go? Is that Counter-Strike?
Yeah, Counter-Strike. We play a bunch of games. Brennan and I got a personal friend group, guys that have raced before, and that's how I met them. They don't do anything RC related anymore, and most of them. But Brennan and I are the RC geeks in there, and yeah, we play a bunch of different games. But CS is on the schedule for tonight, so whenever this ends, Brennan.
We also had a question earlier. A gentleman asked, "What do you do to mentally prepare for these races? Do you have a routine as well?" I kind of want to ask that too. Do you have a certain type of music you listen to? Do you psych yourself up in any way?
I listen to every genre of music, so it's not music. It's all about relaxing before I go. I prep like right now I'm rebuilding my stuff for the race that's the week after, so prep early beforehand. And then I guess gaming, and I love the lake. Like I'll be on the lake at 8 a.m. tomorrow, so just going to the lake. Like I've got a stand-up jet ski, so it's a bit of a workout, and just get the blood flowing and forget about life, hanging on for dear life. But yeah, that and golf now too. So
You have an old school stand-up jet ski?
it's not old school. It's one of the newer. It's a 2024 1500.
I didn't even know they still made them.
Yeah, it's a handful. Just got some horsepower.
Jay Smoker's all into this. He's nuts, but he's got all old ones. All right, James Elliott wants to know, does Broc customize his settings of his Power HD servers since they are programmable? If so, what does he change?
I actually spoke about this with somebody about 2 weeks ago. I've never done it, but I do know this is something at some point, whenever I would say probably after Florida Carpet Champs, I think this is something I want to get into doing because I know it's a huge help in touring car. Like all the touring car guys, they cannot drive those cars anymore. Like they have their servos down to a T, man. And when they take it out, they're so much slower.
Yeah.
So I would like to see it done in 10 scale. I don't think it would do much on dirt, but I think carpet racing, it would be a big benefit. It's just like an ESC. You can add deadband, you can add, boost, turbo, those kinds of things. So
Really?
linearity, exponential. Yeah, you can do all that stuff to servos now. The Power HD works. I don't have a radio sponsor, so if there's guys watching this, if you guys want to, dish me something for a radio sponsor, I know that the Fly Sky works. Like I'm pretty sure you can program the Power HD servos through the Fly Sky radio, but they make programmer boxes. You literally plug it in and you can program a servo. It's pretty cool.
Funny, my contact at Flashlight just messaged me too. Not
Hey!
sent me a message. I'm going to say, Broc Champlin. Any more questions for you guys? I have a question for you, Broc.
So,
I remember, was it 2019 Nats? 8 scale fuel Nats at Thornhill? Were you?
Yep.
Was you driving a Gamma then, or what was it back then?
I was AE.
Okay. Yeah, well, that was before you were Schumacher, so that makes sense. Are we going to see you? We see Nate's doing some 8 scale and crossover. It's pretty good. I know you were thinking of it. I mean, there is, like Trish says, there is a Schumacher 8 scale car coming. Will we see you doing some 8 scale racing in the future, especially when the Schumacher platform drops?
As soon as my schedule slows down, I will be contacting Roar about the Worlds for next year. So I'm planning on, if I really want to, if I can get into it, I'll race the Worlds at Thornhill. Sounds like there's a good chance I could do so. But I will probably race the Worlds at Thornhill, and that will I might go to some before, maybe a couple races before. I know Thornhill, like I did okay there. I was battling for a podium at one point when I was there, and so I'd like to, go back and see what that's all about. If there's a track that's a lot like 10 scale, it's certainly that one. So I'd like to race the Worlds next year. But yeah, we'll see. I'll definitely be racing 8 scale at some point. I just can't tell you a timeline of when it will be a full-time gig.
And we just saw a whole bunch of 10 scale mostly drivers win and do extremely well at the e-buggy Worlds in Portugal.
Yeah,
I think you would have been right there up with them, to be honest.
Those guys were killing it. Like I'll be completely honest. I've never looked at Marcus, and like I know Marcus is extremely talented. I've seen him win some 10 scale races, and that kid's really quick. And I will be honest, I've never seen him wheel an 8 scale like that in my life. I saw it at the Euros. I don't know if he was even in the main there, and then he showed up to the Worlds, and that kid kicked everybody's trash.
He did make the. He's coming to Florida Carpet Championships too.
I heard that'd be cool.
I put the word in Brent Delkey's ear. I was like, get at HobbyPlex. Actually, I was like, hey, you need to get Carrot to Florida Carpet Championships.
Yeah, I want to see Bruno come for this year too. I know that he doesn't have a 10 scale deal, but I just wish he would come. He's such a fierce competitor. Like just X-Ray, if you're listening to this, just give him 2 cars and just say, here, go run it back one more time for us.
It is going to be weird not having no Bruno there, and Runafalk's not coming this year either.
Really?
So that's disappointing. RRLRC Racing RRLRC asks, good luck down under. What do you want to do most? What do you want to do most in your downtime in Australia? Go swimming with great white sharks.
I'm Definitely avoid snakes, spiders, and crazy creatures in the ocean. I don't like the ocean whatsoever. I will tell people that. I do not mind lakes. You could put me in a lake with anything. I don't care. I do not touch the ocean. My biggest fear is submarines, so as far away from the ocean as possible. I know, weird one, but we'll get into it. But I would like to play a couple of the golf courses maybe. If we have the time, I'd like to go play golf and take some of these kids that talk all the trash and about their, you know, better at golf. So let's go out there.
Ronald's
Get on the
pretty good at
course.
golf. Hold on, let's get to this phobia of submarines.
Dude, it's unreal, man. I used to have the worst dreams. Like it seriously, I would like have panic attacks where submarines were falling out of the sky. It's the idea of it. Every time I see it, I see a black submarine rolling out of the water, or I imagine a nuke just straight out, piss
So,
missile straight out the top of it underwater.
yeah,
It's
not a Red
crazy.
October fan, I take it.
Hate it. Absolutely hate it. I remember I saw Brent, Thelke, and my mom were with me. This was the first time I ever went to Oregon. We were passing bridges in Portland, and there was a submarine on the right side. It was the first time I ever saw it with my own two eyes. Full panic attack, breakdown.
No
Scare
way.
submarines, man. Yeah.
Well, Brandon Shady.
We've all got our own things.
Yeah.
I'm not. I mean, a submarine.
I'll
Yeah,
read this comment because I can see it. I've also got a question. What is the feeling like to be below Shady on the leaderboard in most games? See, so Brennan has this, we call it a God complex. Brennan has this God complex, and I'm very competitive. There's my other friend, too. He said, "Did you hit your head today?" Yeah, Brennan, he's just one of those guys, man, uber competitive. It doesn't matter what we're doing, but I can promise you that if we play CS, certainly he will be far below me on the leaderboard.
Do you feel that gaming helps you in your RC at all?
It depends on how I treat it.
Okay.
I currently, like when I go golfing, that's one of the reasons that I've absolutely loved golfing is because when I go out, it's not competitive. So I'm trying to lead away from the competitive stuff in life. And unfortunately, with the group of people I game with, it's really hard to be like, I'm not going to be competitive and then play with Schimmel. Like, you really think that kid's going to just take it easy? So,
I can
yeah,
imagine him
definitely.
in the chat.
I think it used to hurt me, but if I take it and I'm not being competitive and I save my competitive spirit for other things such as my racing, I think it can be used in a beneficial way. I think the eye-hand coordination definitely helps.
Okay. So Felino Vasquez asks, which brand of golf clubs do you have and where do you like to play?
I have Ping, Driver, Woods, Hybrids. I've got Callaway, irons, and wedges, and then I've got TaylorMade putter. And then as far as where I like to play, I mean, there's a couple really nice places here. My friends and I always go to this place we call the Poo Factory because it's super cheap. It's just cheap golf, and we just go there a bunch. But as far as favorite golf courses, honestly, I've played a couple now, or quite a few, and Hill Air Force Base is definitely my favorite, which is about 25 minutes from me.
How long have you been playing golf?
I played golf as a kid, and then I got back into it a couple months ago. And I told myself I wasn't going to be serious, and I'm really not like competitive with it, but I care about self-improvement with everything in life. And so, yeah, definitely got all new clubs. My clubs I literally dropped off a few hours before I hopped in here to go get fully regripped again. So,
Oh, you're deep. You're deep.
yeah, I've got, done some research, played a couple rounds.
All right. One or two more questions, and then we're gonna wrap this up. Go on over. We're gonna wrap up the poll here shortly as well. We got let's see, we got 45 votes so far, and man, much to my chagrin, my pick is not winning right now. Alex, any questions for Broc before we move on?
Not really. If it's not too personal, what's your tat about?
Oh, my tattoo. So this is for my mother. If you know me, you know that I lost my mother in 2019, at the very end of 2019 to cancer. So it's poppy flowers, which was her favorite flowers. and then it's got a cancer ribbon with her date of birth, date of passing, and it says "Mom." I would
Nice.
like to get that done. I'd like to get a full sleeve at some point. I just can't really find tattoo artists in the place that I live. I live in
Mm,
Utah. There's really
yeah.
not a ton of tattoo artists that do high quality work out here.
Right.
So I would like to find somebody in Vegas, and when I go visit my family, get my whole arm done. But yeah, that's for my mother.
My mom passed away in 2009, and my sister, this is her studio. I wanted to get a tattoo of her name, but I wanted it with my last name. She remarried, so all this stuff that we've had is her new name. And we finally found an actual like cursive writing of my mom's with my original last name. So I'm gonna get
Oh,
that
awesome.
tattooed. I'm gonna get that tattooed right here.
Yeah, that'd
And
be super cool.
And it's gonna
I
hurt.
also want to do I know this is tacky for most people, but I actually love tattoos. Like I talk about getting work done so much, and it's just like trying to figure out, because I'm still young enough to where I don't want to do too much to where I'm going to regret it.
Yeah.
But I would love to have like my parents, like my father, who actually, shout out to him, he was in here earlier. But I want to get like his date of birth like across my knuckles, like, and same with my mother's. And I want like I want my whole arm and right hand completely done. So at some point, it's just trying to figure out, like I said, what works. That's not going to be like 20 years from now when I'm a lot more mature. I'm a lot older. I'm not going to hate it. So,
yeah. I got my first one 3 years ago, my favorite band on my calf.
oh,
And
right on.
it had to be perfect. Like it had to be the right one for that
Yeah.
reason. So now I'm
Sweet.
addicted, sort of.
All right, cool. I have a few tattoos too. I got them many years ago. You guys got them. I got my first tattoos when I was your age, Brock, or younger. 21. Murillo Family Fishing. He wants to know, Brock, you say you being at the lake he says being on the lake is where you are often. Do you fish?
I do not fish. I don't have an interest in fishing. For me, I'm a high adrenaline person for the most part. So when I go and get on the water, I like to feel like I'm gonna die. I'm just kidding. No, I just like the adrenaline, man. Everything that has to do with adrenaline. So fishing's just not my thing, though I also don't know how much I can really speak on that, considering I now golf. But when I go golfing, I can't golf alone. There's no way you'll catch me golfing alone.
Fishing's
I
still a
have to go
game,
with
though.
people.
Still a game.
Yeah, for sure. I just think it's like
Or
I don't know. I was not
golfing.
raised
Golfing's still a
fishing.
game.
I was raised, both my dad raced jet skis before I was born and rides now. And then my stepmom, that's how they knew each other from way back in the 90s. They were racing jet skis as she was racing as well. So had a motocross scene / jet ski scene again. And yeah, that's just kind of my forte when it comes to water. I just want to be on a jet ski.
Interesting. Talk about a niche sport. Jet ski racing.
For sure. That's the truth, man. I have not been to the lake one time in Utah where I've seen a stand-up yet.
Interesting. I'm going to end this on one more question, because you said something about competitiveness and how you don't like to be competitive in everything. I often say that you guys, top guys in this hobby / sport, for you guys, it's a sport, right? At your level, it is a sport. I always say this: you guys are no different. Your attitude that you guys have, the mentality that you have, is no different from any other professional athlete, motor or driver, NASCAR driver, F1 driver, motocross racer, rider, football player, basketball player, baseball player. You have it, and you have the attitude, the competitive attitude, and the mentality to harness that and do what you do. It just happens to be in RC, right? I always say that I think if somebody like yourself or Rivkin or Ronafalk, Ungaru, or these guys had that same attitude in any other type of sport, they would be good in that as well. Do you think that's? I have some. Am I crazy, or do I think that? Am I right?
I think that you're completely correct. I think when you have that competitive edge, I think that's what makes people good at what they're doing. Like, some people are obviously more athletic. Like, I'm not going to go and get on a football field. I'm not going to go and shoot basketball. I might be really tall, and people know I'm tall, but I can't shoot a basketball. But when it comes to other things, I'm very competitive. that comes from my father, and I think all the guys around me that are doing this at a high level are also super competitive. And if you were to put them in a real race car, I think they would excel doing that as well. I'd like to think so. I think that the competitive edge is what makes someone good. It's not necessarily like you're born with that allows you to do that. It's not necessarily just like, oh my gosh, I'm just good at RC. Like,
You have
boo.
it. You have it.
Yeah, exactly. So I agree with you for sure.
All right. Well, dude, I really enjoyed this chat. Thank you for coming on. We greatly appreciate it. We've gone over our 90-minute limit. I know Alex has had a long day. He needs to get home.
Yeah, and paying for this studio too. So
there you go. We want to thank you for your time, Alex. Thank you, Broc, for your time. Good luck at the Worlds, man. We look forward to seeing what you can do there. I look forward to seeing you at INS. Before we go, Ty, bring up the poll, please. So, which surface for 10 scale is better? Blown out dirt, 41%. Indoor clay, 31%. Carpet, 17%. And glued dirt, 11%. 46 votes. This is on the No Name RC Podcast YouTube. I'll try to have one on the JConcepts next week as well. But everybody's saying blown out dirt. Some of you guys might get your wish at some point. If you like blown out dirt, then support that outdoor track that is got blown out dirt.
I wish that covered clay tracks was on here, because I'm not gonna lie, Omaha is far different than anything else we race on. Like, it's not indoor clay, in my opinion.
yeah,
Got you. Well, I could only do 4 options.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I'm actually shocked at the answers.
I thought carpet, man. I love carpet. Carpet's the future. You guys know what you're talking about. I'm only joking,
I can't believe glued dirt is so far down there.
I think because it's not as popular. Probably.
It's probably what the people's home tracks are.
Cool. We want to thank you guys for your support. Thank you for everything. Thank you to the sponsors. They are JConcepts, A-Main, Hobbywing, Schumacher, Exalt, Team Associated, Reedy, Elite RC Productions. Good luck to everybody at the Florida RC Championships this weekend in Callahan. Broc, have fun in Australia. Meet some kangaroos. Get over your fear of the ocean. Be careful though. Australia has everything that can kill you. Very fast.
You're not helping.
And maybe you'll see the non-extinct thylacine wandering around. If you see something that looks like a dog but looks like a tiger, has tiger stripe, it is a thylacine. Take a picture. You'll be famous.
Gotcha.
Good luck. We look forward to you having a good one. Maybe we'll be talking to you as a world champion next time.
Maybe.
And it's getting darker. I see it's getting darker and darker as you go. You lost your light. So
yes,
it was a great interview, and I look forward to seeing you at Hoosier in about a month.
Great interview, Broc.
Yeah.
Really
Thank you guys. And then thanks to everybody that supports me, my sponsors, Schumacher, Wits, Hobbywing, JConcepts, Gen Ace, Power HD, everybody, all my friends, family. Thank you guys for doing this interview. And yeah, thanks to everybody that's watching.
Yeah, and thank you everybody out there that's watching. We had a great time with you guys, and we appreciate the support. You guys have a good weekend. Be a good RC ambassador. And from Lefty, Alex, and Broc, we'll see you later. You guys are out.